Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bold Analysis. I want to ask you to take if you've been missing our podcast, but I don't want you to miss this because I want us to talk about something that everyone in this country that is having interest in the Kenyan political discourse was asking for the better part of Friday, especially someone who listened to Irene Masit and CHERERA. Yesterday, and when Irene Masit and CHERERA and Wanderi appeared before that bipartisan talks committee, despite the fact that, of course, Wandera and Nyang'aya are in the country, Irene Masit and CHERERA, who are four that were against Chebukati's results, are out of the country in US, alleged in some exile. So today I received a request, or rather a request and a question from some of our subscribers, and I saw even that question in the comment section. That, Kevin, why is it that IBC commissioners, the CHERERA 4, are still holding their grounds and are not willing to tone down, number one, to tone down, or rather to stand to support William Ruto, and they still stand by their position that 2022 general election was a sham? Before I interrogate further this, I also want to ask you to, but then you can give me, we have seen even the likes of people who are in Azimio la Umoja, Kotu boss Francis Atwoli, and a number of some politicians that were also supporting Azimio la Umoja, crossing over the government side because they want some, of course, they want some jobs and here and that. Now, CHERERA 4 and the team were insisting that they were handed out of office because they questioned the results that were announced by Wafula Chebukati. But one of the most puzzling question here is, why is it that they cannot turn to support William Ruto even after they've been hounded out of office? I know I want to answer it by some input here kidogo. Number one, when CHERERA, the ones that resigned, I think are supposed to get half salary, if I'm not wrong, for the remainder, or they're supposed to get some packages, and maybe they're still viable to be re-employed, or about to be readmitted in public office. So, like for example, CHERERA can still, after resigning, can still get some job somewhere else, even in some organization, NGO, or she can still work in some organization or another public office, entitled to some other packages. Unlike Irene Masit, who, because she faced that tribunal, because there was an angle of facing the tribunal or resigning. The others resigned before, and Irene Masit faced the tribunal, and for her, she could not defend her case before the tribunal. There was, she cannot be absorbed. And of course, she was even saying that even a third of salary that she's supposed to receive from the commission after going through that was stopped, and she doesn't get it. Now, during their speeches, they sounded bitter. Masit is very bitter and very emotional, and by there you can really feel. CHERERA insists that unless the server is opened and Kenyans are told the truth, the 2022 elections remains a sham before her eyes. Wanderi and Nyang'aya are in the country. Yesterday, they took Kenya Kwanza head on, telling Kenya Kwanza how Wafula Chebukati ran a sham elections, the last year's general election. Someone was telling me, Kevin, The way Kenya are talking, they're still denying Ruto legitimacy. While what Ruto would want, if there are people that will give Ruto legitimacy, the last people that will give Ruto legitimacy are the IBC commissioners. If they will come and say that now, we've re-examined our position, we've re-looked at these figures, yes, we opposed this, but now it was free and fair, then they will give Ruto legitimacy. But why is it they're still not willing to lean on the Ruto's cards? I want to answer that question in this podcast, and of course that is what why I was asking you to make sure you don't miss this. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. Thank you very much for those who are supporting us from different parts of this country, of different parts of the world. We don't take it for granted. We are grateful that you watch our podcast every day. My power 3 is this. These commissioners understands very well that deeply there was conviction, deep conviction that there was an electoral theft. If this country will forget that we've had all three, not all three, we have 2007, 2007, 2013, 2017, and 2022. Unless this country forgets that we've had 4 disputed elections, that only Raila has saved this country from, and many people have always looked at it as, why Raila? I want you to think about, try to replace young politicians like Babu Owino to have been in the position of Raila Odinga in 2022. Or even in 2017. Where do you think this country would have been? So we are saying, and looking at how the commissioners are holding their grounds, their deep conviction there was an electoral theft. I'm seeing that. And I may want to be challenged on this point. Number 2. The CHERERA and the team understands and would actually look at a situation where IBC chairman position, IBC chairman powers are trimmed. And I want us to get it. This is not the first time we are having commissioners breaking away. Even after 2017, Rosalind Akombe left. Rosalind Akombe left, and I remember the way he reacted. She reacted to that, saying that, these commissioners, they were reacting, saying that country needed to listen to what the 4 IBC commissioners are saying. And she said, if we can't listen to what the CHERERAs are saying, and we demonize them, the reason why we had to, the political class, the ruling class, had to demonize them, not the ruling class, but the ruling coalition, had to demonize and even hound them out of the country and to suppress their profile, is because we don't want to grow out of electoral malpractice. These commissioners are saying something that we were not part of it. In fact, Irene Masit was saying what happened in Bomas is a sham. They are holding their ground that something was wrong. The other third, my power 3 is, I am seeing a possibility that there are some global backing, they're receiving some global backing about their push for pushing electoral transparency. Yes, they said they're in UK, US. I remember it, and the team said they're not getting their salaries. They cannot survive. I remember it saying she had to take a motorbike to the airport as she was leaving the country. And there is something about leaving this country that has been overrated. There are only 2 ways. If government doesn't want you to leave, they have the machinery to stop you from leaving. And leaving sometimes there is always a situation where people normally have dual citizenship. By the way, that's also one thing that I've always realized. That in some positions, some of these, especially electoral positions, people tend to have dual citizenship. Where they know, like a Kombe, they know very well that even if I am hounded out of office, I am going to get my way out. And so, having listened to CHERERA and the team, the country has to choose its path and choose what is right for us. If we want to make our democracy, our elections work, it is about time we examine about the super IBC chairman position. Yes, super IBC chairman. We agree that as much as do we continue giving one person the autonomy over election process, or having a discussion about working together. The more we continue to install a powerful and a one-man show chairman because of powers bestowed on him as the official returning officer of the presidential results, we are courting disaster. Why? CHERERA said something that the chairman did not use, Form 34C was not given to other commissioners to look at. And there were no results tallied from the 290 constituencies in the gazetted, because there are two returning officers. There is constitutional returning officer and then the national returning officer. So what happened is, because the ROs, the constitutional returning officers, the data of what they had collected from the presidential results was not tabulated. What was tabulated was from the counties. The commissioners are saying, Chebukati ran a one-man show. And by the way, kusema ukweli, that's why he can't go before that commission. We have our way. We have to choose to get it right. The others between 2017, we've never had their side of the story. We've never. But if we have now an opportunity to listen to what others are saying and use them to make corrections. Thank you.